According to work and time criteria, it is the most efficient and perfect machine. You may not find this video very lavish as it has been videographed on actual locations. There are no sets or studio shots. This has been done deliberately, only to make it more realistic. The workers have been shown working on the router machine in real situations. It has been shown in detail as to how Endico router machine works. Endico Power Tools India presents Ours Job in a few minutes. Dear friends, we want to tell you something about India, our beloved country. With respect to population, India is second biggest country in the world, and area-wise, it's the sixth nation in the world. The Indians were well trained in their trades and highly skilled in their art, whereas the money they got in lieu of their artwork was too less in comparison to the time spent on its perfection. That is why they were forced to leave their traditional crafts and were lured by other trades. But it was not everlasting. India was determined to hoist its flag on the path of progress and development. It has carved out its new progressive measures and means. New inventions were being carried out and people started working together for development of better techniques in every field. The machines, techniques and spare parts which we used to import from other countries at higher costs are now developed in India at much more lower cost. Endico Power Tools India took the initiative to render the wooden work easy and better, who gave us our first indigenous router and named it Endico Router. The world was astonished with the first indigenous router of the country. First of all, let us know how to make a molding with the router. Molding means to shape the ends of the wood according to our requirement. Wood may be Indian rosewood, teak, cedar, Himalayan spruce, blue pine or zigzag shaped. The method is very simple. The trimmer will move along the masterpiece and the trimming of the wood will carry on. It is not necessary that for large wood piece, the router bit should also be big. You can also use small bits to make heavy molding. You are watching the power of Endico router. It is making rebate also without any obstacle. You are watching a bearing below the rebate bit. With this, the width of the rebate will remain fixed to 9 mm, neither less nor more. Another wonder of Endico router. Remove the bearing which has been fixed on the rebate bit and fix the bearing guide in the Endico router. If the patam bit is used to make the rebate, you need no different rebate bit to make rebate of various sizes and dimensions. By moving the bearing forward and backward, you can change the width of the rebate. By doing this, the cost of router bit will be minimized. The Endico router can perform the work of spokey planner very easily and clearly. For making the doors, the most difficult work is to remove the rough traces of saw cutting. After cutting a lock rail which looks filthy, and to remove these traces, we have to do a lot of things. And you know it very well. But Endico router has made this work too easy, as if it is a child's play. Want to know how? Let us show you. After making a smooth masterpiece, it is to be fitted on the lock rail, where its trimming will start. You can make adjustments after loosening the router's lock. Bit is to be set in such a way that the bearing should remain on the masterpiece. Come on. The Endico router has started its work. The making of the size of the lock rail will go on according to the masterpiece. There's no fear of breaking the edges. Similarly, you can apply planer on any number of lock rail as you wish. Not only lock rail, but you can also apply planer on any shape as well. Remove the masterpiece after the trimming is finished. The trimming can also be done after fixing the frame as well. The method is the same again. The masterpiece is to be placed under. So, did you notice that we did not need the spokey planer smoother? After the trimming work is finished, remove the masterpiece. We can make the rebate for putting the glass even after fixing the frame. You can see the cutting is done by Endico router quite clearly because of the focus light. You can make the rebate even after fixing the door. There are so many works which have been rendered easy by the Endico router. For example, if we have to put the ply, the same can be done with the help of the side groove bit. Any kind of joint, round or uneven wood, the Endico router will go on moving. Now, to fit the molding, we have fixed the molding bit. To set the depth, there is an gauge meter in it. This special kind of double taper rebate, which we are making with the help of the Endico router. Up till now, this was used to be made with the help of the hand-driven spokey planer. The double taper rebate is helpful in tight fitting of the two planks of the doors. The fixing of the hinges in the traditional style will be a thing of the past, as the cutting with the help of the chisel, sometimes enlarged or sometimes lessened. That means the wastage of time and material. Let us do this cutting with the help of the Endico router. For this, we will have to make this kind of a masterpiece in which there is such type of a rectangular hole. Fit the masterpiece on this in this way. Fit a coping guide and a straight bit in the Endico router so that the coping guide may move from here with the masterpiece. After completion of the cutting, we will feel that the Endico router has been made to save the time. Hinge can also be mortised in such a way also. Fit a long straight bit, and while fixing the guide rod from below, tight the screws from the upper side. The Y guide is to be fixed in such a way in the end. By this, the depth will remain the same. Isn't it that Endico router saves a lot of time? This beautiful You have seen that how many types of works Endico router can perform. That is why we call this the all-rounder of your business. For making these kinds of designs, we will have to fit the masterpiece having different designs. After fitting copying guide, we will have to fit a fine and thin straight bit. Copying guide will move along the masterpiece. With the help of the focus light, you can see all the minute details clearly. Router's depth is to be kept equal to the thickness of the mica. All the grooves have been completed. See, the groove will be on the same distance from all the ends from all directions. Now, with the help of a straight bit, which is having more width, we will make the powder of the inner mica because it has been pasted. This work cannot be completed so quickly without the help of Endico router. But now, as you can see, the cutting process is happening and even the smoothing process is done underneath. Now, we will have to fill red mica in it, and for getting the same size of mica pieces, we will require the same masterpiece, the same 3 mm straight bit and the same copying guide. This time, we will not paste the mica from below. Similarly, pieces of all the shapes will come out. It is a matter of pleasure that we will find the width of the groove in red and white mica pieces equal to the width of the straight bit, that is 3 mm. If you want that the mica be reduced by 5 mm from all sides, then please note that the straight guide is not to be fitted in this case, and only Y guide is to be fitted, as there is space in its center so that router bit may rotate easily in it. Adjust the depth of the router. This work can be done in both the ways. To make such chamfer grooves, we have to make a jig. For this, we will be in need of a straight guide and a straight bit. With the help of the C-clamp, we can fix the Endico router on the table. Then, the wood is being placed in the jig. Then, after placing along with the jig, push it forward. See this. The router bit has started making the groove. Now, it will penetrate into the wood. One groove is ready. Then, turn the jig along the wood. Come on, 2 grooves are ready. If we make the joint after making the grooves, the joint will be smooth. We can fit ply on it also. Now, we can cut down clearly the enlarged portions of the ply with the help of the trimmer bit. The size of the 2 ply will be rendered equal to the wooden frame placed between both the ply. We have seen that there is no crack in the ply anywhere, and the time taken was too short. Now you tell us, can this work be done so quickly by hand? Now we will show you as to how easily the kitchen doors can be made with the help of the male and female bits. Out of male and female bits, we will fit the female bit which will move along the wood of lock rail where we have to make the groove. See this. Along with the tongue, design is also being made. Now we will put the male bit in it. The difference between the 2 bits is that the female bit, the design is below, and in the male bit, our kitchen door is complete in all respects. To fix hinges on the kitchen doors after fitting this bit in the router, set the straight guide so that both the holes should be at equal distance from the ends. Now, you must have understood the working speed of the Endico router. Now, we will show you as to how MDF board kitchen doors can be made with the help of the Endico router. To make the kitchen doors, coping guide has been fitted. Coping guide guides the masterpiece while moving. Now, put a straight bit in it. If the masterpiece is of big size, place a wood of similar thickness. Now, the router will not fall on any side. Coping guide will touch the masterpiece and straight bit will start its work on new wood below. In the coping guide, only those bits will work which have no bearing, because coping guide will itself work as a bearing. Design with the groove is ready in a few seconds. To make it more beautiful, we will have to fit two kind of bits. One will make design on the circle and the other will make taper design on the panel. Now, we don't need the coping guide because bearing is fitted in the bit and which groove has been made in the groove. The router bit will move like a bearing. In this design, what is visible outside is the molding design, and what is visible inside is the taper design. It will seem as if panel has been fitted separately. Now, we will show you as to how similar designs can be made on both sides with a single bit. For this, we will need a plunge bit because it has edges on three sides and there is no bearing in it. You can do this work on any kind of wood, maybe Indian rosewood, teak, cedar, pine, Himalayan spruce, blue pine, etc. You must be thinking as to where we are taking you. Let us finish your curiosity. Come on, we have reached Vaishno Mata's Mandir, which is situated on the Kullu Manali road. The speciality of this temple is that maximum wooden work has been done here. The engraving and carving has been done by Endico router. Carving and engraving work is just perfect. The wooden work on the roof and the walls is wonderful and fascinating. Most of the beautiful pillars in this temple have been made with the help of Endico router. See how beautiful designs have been made here. Any kind of molding designs, all are perfect. We will not only explain to you but will also practically demonstrate as to how useful your Endico router is. First of all, draw as to which designs you want to make. You can see for yourself a special kind of focus light and a chip guard have been fitted in the router. You can also see the finest details of work being performed from very near and clear. Just like the pen moves on the paper, the bit will move on the lines which you have marked earlier. Endico router renders your task easy and saves your precious time as well. After scrapping, your design will appear on the wood. In the past, it took a long time to finish this kind of work. But today, with the help of Endico router, this kind of work can be done in a matter of hours. Now we will know as to how designs on MDF board, ply and sun mica are made while keeping these three together. Presently, these designs are very popular. We will keep the wooden piece on the masterpiece, on which the design and taper is to be made. Then fit the MDF board ply mica or Italian teak, whichever you finalize. Then put a taper bit on it. Now, we are watching that the bearing of the taper bit is moving on the masterpiece, and the taper bit is tapering the wood and the teak ply. The most complicated design can be made easily with the help of Endico router. Let us see that how inlay is filled in the light and dark Italian teak. Very simple, it's so easy. Fit the masterpiece. Adjust the depth of the router according to the width of the inlay, and the straight bit should be equal to the width of the inlay to be fitted. Copying is very important in the router. Now we will have to use router on the light colored Italian teak. The same process is to be repeated. Same masterpiece and the same router bit. The only difference will be of the color of Italian teak. But the same is being done now with the trimmer bit in the router, which is trimming and planning at the same time. Now we have the cut pieces of both colored teak ply, which has come out from internal pieces. We will exchange them. See how beautiful designs are ready. Now we will see how we can do carving of small flowers and leaves on the wood. This is a masterpiece. First, fit a straight bit and place coping guide on the router. It is grooving. We don't need any guide to carve these leaves. The Endico router will move inside the marking. A special kind of focus light has been fitted in the Endico router. With the help of this focus light, you can see the finest of work very nearly and clearly. Now we have finished the carving. Similarly, we have to do cutting just to make space for the leaves. And then the leaves are filled there. The scrapping work was done by hands in the past. But the same is done with the help of Endico router now with perfect accuracy. You can even do rounding of edges. In the past, all this work was done with the help of the file, which took hours together. But now, Endico router do this work in just 1.5 minutes. The back side of the bed is ready. Now we will see as to how the rounding of the edges of the designs made on the back side of the bed is done. How the round cutting is done from inside. For this, we have to make a hole in the center. After fitting a straight bit, fit a round guide in the Endico router. After putting this pin in the hole, lock is to be tightened. Down the chip guard and put on the focus light. Router is to be pushed forward gently. If the thickness of the wood is more, then the depth is to be adjusted accordingly. Come on, the Endico router has rendered such a difficult task to be so simple. Now let us do the rounding of the edges. Fit a round bit and start moving it. This difficult task has been completed in just 10 seconds. Now we will move this router on the outer edge also. Do you want to waste your time while scrubbing it with the scrubber? Or want to save your time and energy? The design which is being made is also used in the furniture. If this is made by hand, it will take at least 1 hour, whereas Endico router will get it ready within 1 minute only. Without the help of the Endico router, we can't think about finishing this work. This is the only formula for saving time and energy. That is why it is said that Endico router finishes the task of hours in minutes only. This is the only formula of saving. Generally, hardwood is used in the furniture work, and the work on such hardwood is not less than a challenge. Will the Endico router accept this challenge? In next few minutes, you will see that the Endico router will do such tasks which you have not even imagined. For rounding from all the 4 sides which you are seeing now, such a quarter round bit is to be fitted after fitting the wood on the table. The Endico router is rounding one edge of the wood. You can Similarly, another half circle is completed on it. Now, we have two parallel grooves on it. Now, we will have to make a straight groove on it .
ਔਰ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਰਾਉਂਡ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਸਫਾਈ ਦੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਇੰਡੀਕੋ ਦੇ ਰੂਟਰ ਨਾਲ ਬਣਾਈਆਂ ਨੇ।
After trimming, you have to do round cutting to fit the speaker in the speaker box. For this, you will need a guide rod, a round guide and a straight bit. First of all, fit the straight bit in the router. While fitting the guide rod, take care that there is a hole in the center. While fitting it from the lower side, tight the screws from the upper side. Fit the round guide in the end. Where the round cutting is to be done, make a hole there and fit the roller on it. Lower the chip guard and put on the focus light. You may see that the Endico router is doing the task of the jigsaw without any fault. By doing in this way, we will not have to scrub it with sandpaper or file after cutting. The cutting and scrubbing are done at the same time. After pasting the mica, do its trimming from inside and outside. Now we will show you that MDF board and sun mica both can be cut at the same time. If you want to give a rebate, you can also do it. For cutting the rectangular speaker, we need coping guide, straight bit, and masterpiece. Handles are also ready to carry the speaker box. To make such rings, you don't need any lathe machine. You have to fit a plunge bit and a round guide in your Endico router and put this pin in the hole. Now keep pushing the router and you will go on making the rings. Earlier, the work which was done on the lathe machine with a lot of difficulty is done in a few seconds by Endico router today. By adjusting this guide according to your convenience, forward or backward, you can reduce or enhance the circle. This process is repeated till the time all the rings are ready. You will notice that in the end, the rings are being made one after the other and your beautiful design will be ready. You can fit the Endico router in this way. You will also see how the rectangular wood can be made round. For this purpose, round guide and router bit without bearing will be used. You have seen the speed and rounding accuracy of the Endico router. Now, we will show you that how rings of different sizes and designs are made out of a single wooden piece. Have a look. First and the biggest ring is ready. To change the design, we will have to change the router bit and forward the guide according to convenience. The router is creating new designs for you. Similarly, you can go on changing the router bit and keep on making the rings of different designs. Now, we will make round rings. We have used different bits in this work so that you don't have this impression in your mind that it can make only one design. This ring is round from all the four sides. This is the finest work of the Endico router. Look at this. We started with a rectangular wooden piece, and out of that, rings of different sizes and designs have been made. You can fix these moldings after cutting. Not only this wonderful piece of machine can cut mica also. Because of the high speed of the Endico router, the mica rings are made without breaking the mica. The mica gets no time to break because the router rotates at a speed of 22,000 RPM. Now please tell us the truth. Have you ever imagined that this sort of a thing can really happen? Isn't it wonderful? Now, we will teach you to make a small box. For this, copying guide is required. For this work also, router bit without bearing will be fitted. Fix the masterpiece on the wood. Remove the masterpiece. There will be a rectangular hole in the wood. This will be used as a box, and the box is ready. Wooden ball can also be made with the help of the Endico router. Fit a router bit in it. Because of the emptiness at one side, Y guide is used in it. The rounded wooden piece is rotated by hand, and the bearing will touch the edge of the wood. Thus, the half side of the ball will be ready. Now cut this by the saw. And join two half pieces to make a ball. The ball is ready. How the Endico router is hitting a sixer at every ball. This is really the prince of your business. Cutting just like we do the cutting with the jigsaw. For the purpose of cutting such designs, any kind of guide is not used at all. By now, you must have noticed that because of 22,000 RPM speed of Endico router, even the hardest of mica will not break. That is why everybody says, if there is to be a router, it has to be Endico router. For fitting the photo frame on the wall with the groove under such flap was used to make with the help of the hand cutter. But now, this work is done in a few moments with the help of the Endico router. If the depth of the groove is okay, then the screw will fit easily. Oh, what is this? Wooden chain. No, never heard before. This is also the wonder of your Endico router. Let us start. First of all, you will have to make a wooden jig means pattern. Any carpenter can easily do it. Now, this kind of a wooden piece is to be fitted, and it is to be done with the help of the trimmer. The track of the jig which has been made under it, the trimmer bit is trimming it. Accordingly, the speed of the Endico router is 22,000 RPM. This speed means a lot, keeping in mind the speed. See this, wood has been rounded from all the four sides. It means that one ring of the chain is ready. Now make the other rings in the similar way. We will have to break these rings to interlock these, which means we have to break only one and not to cut with the saw. See this. The whole chain is ready in this way. Now we will show you the router's magic on ACP sheet. An ACP sheet is a 3-layered sheet with plastic sheet in the center and aluminium sheets on both the sides. Sheets are used on outer sides of the buildings. See, it's easy to bend it after making such a groove in it. After bending, it will take the shape of a tray. Router can do round cutting. As you can see that the building having pyramid shape is made of such sheets, which means imagination is yours and magic is of Endico router. Now, for the comparison purpose, we have two people. We will compare the work of the Endico router. One of them will work with hand tools, whereas the other person has Endico router and a trimmer bit fitted in it. The person working with the hand tools tries his best to match the working of the other person having Endico router. But he's far behind. Look at this. Endico router is finishing the work quickly and neatly. The wood may be straight, zigzag, round or taper. It makes no difference. The sun mica has been broken at several places with the scrubber. This gentleman has surrendered before the Endico router after breaking the sun mica at several places. This presentation has ended, but now your success story will start because Endico router is there to start your success journey. Endico Power Tools India, an ISO 9001-2008 certified company. Phones 0161 2500 760 324 5253 and +91 842 760 0760. Email info@endicopowertools.com. Website www.endicopowertools.com.